last 12, 15 years, getting involved with college all-star games in the AFL and AAF, and now the XFL, there's a lot of knowledge that I have. I wanted to give back, So my kids are in college now. I have some more time. I am fully immersed myself in coaching. That is my priority job. I have visions and expectations. Everything I've done in my life is for a bigger purpose. And right now, in that league, is allowing me to showcase that on a platform, and I got to keep winning. Matter of fact, I got to win a championship like now. That's my goal. So I love it, and I'm going to continue to grow there, and we'll see where that leads down the road.
Was there any point, like once you got the big job, that you were like, "Whoa, it was something that even as with your experience, you weren't expecting."
Yeah, I think every coach goes through that at some point. I mean, I was a first-time head coach, first time for a lot of things, right? So you put a good staff around you, you put people that are actually smarter than you around you, you can not trip up on those things as much, right? So I'm a big proponent of a team getting together of good quality coaches, guys that know how to communicate. I let guys do their job, but ultimately I'm going to make the decisions. Like, I don't call plays. So, for instance, I learned so much from coaches in college and NFL. They teach you what not to do in situations because they messed it up every week. I just take a lot of notes. I got a whole note thing on my phone, man, that I just write down. And for me, I don't call plays, so I gotta be on that. It's important to me. It means something to me. Going forward on fourth down, all this kind of thing. I don't use analytics as much. I mean, we don't have that much in our league yet because we have different variety of ways of scoring. But it's a feel thing, man. It's a gut. You believe in what you're doing. Think about those scenarios and situations, and you roll with it. But I'm always learning as a head coach. Every coach, if you're not after the season evaluating yourself and getting better, you're losing track and space from the guys ahead of you. Look at the college football game right now, man. If you're not adapting and trying to get with what's going on right now, you're going to be left behind the dust, and you're going to be overwhelmed with everything. Portal, players, all this different stuff. So you got to NIL. I mean, and you got to be able to manage that stuff. And the more you do that, the better. But you also got to, it's still football. You still got to coach. At some point, when this thing all equals out with the lawsuit and the money and all that stuff, man, it's going to come down to coaching, right? So you better have the best coaching staff, guys that know how to do it. I have a great coaching staff for me, so that's great for where I'm at in my league. But again, for all those other coaches and where I'm trying to go, like making sure you surround yourself with really good people, because ultimately they're going to be the ones that get you hired and get you fired, right? So that's kind of how I look at it.
Is that Rocco's hat?
Yeah, this is RB3, man. Yeah, that's his.
So speaking of NIL, I mean, what is that like for you as a dad when, as a player, none of this was a thing?
Yeah, I got no money at West Virginia, so I didn't have any money in my pocket until I got to the league, which is a good thing. It's great because obviously someone that's played at the highest level was able to make good money, go through some ups and downs, and just know how to do it right. He's well ahead of it. He's like, he has a hard time, honestly, spending his scholarship check, that he gets. I don't know how kids even spend all that, Invest it, and the opportunities do come. Iowa State's done a great job. Other schools, they continue to build that. Some are a little old school, but they're working through their ways, and but everybody here is doing something. It's just a part of the game. You have to be a part of it. But being a quarterback, obviously, you get those opportunities. And for a guy like him, he doesn't need anything. He has no bills. He's all ball right now. So I just, I just help him out. Hey, where's the money? Let's put it in here. We're investing in here. We're buying this. We're buying that. And he just sits back and like, oh, cool, Dad, we made 20%, 30%. That, watch it grow. And then 10 years from now, we're going to be good to go. Yeah, that's
when you were a kid.
I did, yeah. So there was a stock, it was right around the bubble from the internet thing, and I had some good advice, and we went and we took on all the Big East schools across the Big East at the time, and hell, we crushed it. I mean, we made the most money out of anybody. I got to go up. Who was sponsoring that? Goldman Sachs or Tucker Anthony, and got to go to New York during the Big East basketball tournament, and I got a knowledge for that. So trying to pass that knowledge on to my kid as well, but. He doesn't need any money right now. He's just playing ball. It's football first, and he doesn't. And he gives back too. He did a great camp in Perry, Iowa. Gave back to a struggling community, and that was his deal, man. He just, I'm proud of him, man. He just keep ripping it off, and the successes will come.
You talk about evolution with NIL. Do you feel that is a good evolution? Do you feel it's an evolution that really is going to take college athletics to a better level?
Yeah, I love it. I really do. Now it gets to be swayed because there's no control. Some people have more, and it's tough to navigate, and kids get enamored with that. Families get enamored with that, especially for kids that don't have a lot. Like, man, there's a lot of big numbers out there to really look through. So, like, what is the value? What is the worth? Who are the people that are around you that can help you in those moments? As long as the schools are helping these kids navigate these things, not leaning on an agent or somebody that's out there. You have to help inform. That's part of the coach's job. It's part of a school's job to do those things. So the more you can inform them, the more you can help them learn. I mean, I got a lot of people at my disposal that Rocco can talk to Vinny Testaverde, Chad Pennington, Rich Gannon. I'm going to throw these people at him, because he needs the knowledge. If you can get the knowledge, then you can figure it all out. You got to do it though. At the end of the day, I can give you all the knowledge in the world, but if you can't do it and you can't take those steps, it's a waste of time, right? But I'm going to stick it in your face as much as I can. So, as long as we keep doing that as coaches and colleges keep doing that kind of stuff, I think you can always take that climb and help these kids succeed. A lot of these kids are doing a lot of good things too, but there are some, there's a lot at them, man. Like, it's great, but are they, giving the guidance they need? And hopefully it works out for everybody. But I do like the NIL. I think it's a game changer. It can help a lot of kids in the right way, and schools have to manage and have a plan with that to make it right.
You mentioned get where you want to be. You want to be in the NFL? You want to coach the NFL someday?
I've had opportunities to go to the NFL. I've kind of passed. I think right now for me, college coaching is where I want to be. I want to be a head coach in college. So I'm on
Would you be willing to go the assistant route, or do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I sat in front of the UFL, The Rock, Danny Garcia, Redbird Capital. I wasn't on their list, on their radar. It's about vision. It's about having a plan, and it's about following through with that as well. So we've been winning. For me, I'm just trying to win a championship as fast as possible. I'm trying to help guys get back to the NFL. We had 16 2 years ago go to training camp. We had 8 this year. And, we have a great city in St. Louis, and I love the job. I'm going to do this for a while. I like what I'm doing, but when those opportunities come and I can get an opportunity to sit in front of somebody, I think that's where the deals get closed. I just got to get in front of them. If I can get in front of them, that's the difference maker in this process. But assistant coach, I think there's different things there. Can you be a coordinator, O-line coach? Do you go to a big program, be like an assistant head coach, do something on that capacity? Right. Absolutely, that's always on the table. But my goal, obviously, is to be a college head coach.
Is there a reason college, not NFL?
Yeah, I think.
Obviously, you have a lot of connections in the NFL.
I do, yeah.
The Jets just made a change recently, obviously.
For me, I think it's interesting. I know I can do it. I know I can do the NFL thing. I'm around that so much. It's a little different type of deal there, I think. You talk about ownership and the traditional way of finding coaches. I don't think they'd step out of the box and kind of look at that. Now, could I get an interview and sit in front? Could I sit in front of the Jets, or could I sit in front of these teams that I have good relationships? Yeah, I know 15, 16 different GMs that I have good relationships with. Say, hey, let's talk. That could be formal, informal, whatever it is. And it's just for me to kind of gain that experience. But I know I can do the NFL. I just think I want to help them. I just think this is where the passion is. I have a kid that does it. I see what he's doing. I see the kids around him, and I see these other kids across the country. And I can give them the football. That's the deal. But it's the other stuff, man. Like, it's Jedi mind trips. It's messaging. It's being a psychologist. It's helping these guys. That's a big part of this thing as well as you're a coach. It's not just, hey, I got a head coaching job. I want to sit in the offensive meetings, but I get pulled out. I got to talk to a player. I got an issue. So all those things, I embrace those things. So, I'm a leader of men. I'm a CEO coach. That's what I do. People say I'm a player's coach, but I hold guys accountable. I hold my coaching staff accountable, and I think those things work very well, and I'm real. I tell the truth. Guys know where they stand. If you don't like that, then you're probably not the right guy for me. And that's kind of how I kind of stand by my coaching style right now.
You might have been asked this already, but what's it mean to be back here and to be honored later tonight?
It's fantastic, man. I love the state. I love the fan base. They made me who I am today. I always tell people, like, I'm deathly scared of, like, the name on the back of my jersey representing my family and this community, man. Because it's just it's a lot on the shoulders to just keep it clean. There's a lot of things out there that you can sway people the wrong direction. I always want to feel like I'm not just representing my family, but the people, the states, and the teams that I've ever played with, and just kind of do the right thing in that manner. And I've always tried to do that. But it's great to be back. I see family, friends, old teammates. It's been really cool, and to do it on a night where my son's playing in front of the fans tonight, a blackout, the drone show, whatever's going on today. It's fun, man. I'm fired up for it.
Did you always want to get coaching?
I think over the years it was something in my mind that I wanted to do. I just couldn't commit to it fully. I was on the NFLPA Collegiate All-Star Game staffs for about 10 years with Mike Lawrence and Marvin Lewis. Every time I would go talk to those guys, they're like, get out of the media and start coaching, and I just it wasn't the right time for me. So got involved with the AAF. Mike Lawrence became the head coach. Went to California and San Diego, became his tight end coach. Soaked in everything I could, not just being a tight end coach, but just being a coach around him. And I've learned from a lot. I've been on five different organizations in the NFL, 2 firings in 2 of those organizations. So I've seen it all. Good coaches, bad coaches. You get a lot of information. and now I can do it my way in that twist. So, yeah, it's always been there. It's just now my daughter's in college, my son's doing his thing, so it's a phase in my life. I did the media thing. The goal for me in the media was to learn the college game. I did it for a decade. I've been in the buildings. I've seen the styles and different coaches, the way they do things, the offenses, the defenses. I know the NFL side. That's the easy part. I just had to kind of enhance myself. I did it for a decade, and now I'm still watching. I'm watching film of every team that Iowa State plays, what Iowa State's doing, and again, it's fun, and I love doing it. And yeah, that's where we are right now. And what that path's going to look like, how many years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I don't know. But I love what I'm doing now. I have a great platform. UFL's doing an excellent job. Hopefully, it's around for another 10 years. But it's a great schedule for me because I can coach, I can come home, I can see my son play, and I can also do some jet things that I've been doing for hell. They've been paying me since 2000. I've been taking paychecks, and I know I'm not going to turn them down. So.
Do you find yourself prepping for college coaching?
Yeah, for sure. Every day. I'm always prepping. I'm gathering information. I know a lot of people around different schools, places. It's the other side. How you manage all this money and the general managers, and how you want to do the recruiting and the portal, and how you want that tree is going to look like from the biggest schools to the middle tier schools, the football side, the coaching side, all that stuff. To me, is where I'll be strong at. I may sit in front of an AD and they may say, "Well, who's going to be your OC and DC?" And they be like, "Well, I don't know that guy." If you only know the guys that are out there, you think they're doing a great job. That's great, but you got to get great teachers and you got to know the system. I just think, truly, for me, players want to play in the NFL. Players want to play in the NFL. They want to learn that system. They want to learn that way. Does that work in college? Absolutely. You see Andy Reid, he's adapted, right? He does a lot of things that look like college, but it's still pro. It's a hybrid West Coast. It just grows and continues to change. You can still use 3 tight ends. You can still go empty. You can still do all these things. It's about simplifying it. The West Coast is the toughest kind of offense that's out there, right? Verbiage-wise. John Gruden's still ripping off, 2-sentence plays. Like, you got to shrink it down. And I'm always yelling at my coordinator. And they're short now, but keep them small. Keep them small. But we're always prepping. I was like, hey, whatever the next job is, you got to make sure a kid can understand, 272, wide drive, Z shot, whatever it is, you got to make it 2 words. You got to make it simplified. But if they're getting that and they're understanding, we'll teach it like that, but they'll get it with the one word. Now you're going, why wouldn't a quarterback want to be with Bruce Gradkowski, who played in the league for 12 years behind Ben Roethlisberger's won games, running an offense that Andy Reid, Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, all these coaches are running successfully. Sean McVay, that's what we do. So that can work in college. Some teams do it, and you just got to be able to deliver that. So yeah, I'm always prepping myself for those things. How can we deliver it? Yeah, exactly. Well, and our league is very similar to college. The UFO, I'm recruiting guys every day. I'm calling NFL receivers that have been cut, whatever. Like, hey, you need to come, and letting them understand why this is the right move to come with us, and not wait for a team to bring them in for a workout or something like that. Just sign Andy Isabella, 5-year NFL guy, second-round guy. We're about to sign another NFL receiver that we convinced to come with us. We're going to reload every year. But again, we got to keep winning. Like, I can't have a 1-5 season or 1-9 season. People want winners. I got to be consistent. So there's a lot of pressure. I'm heavily involved in that, in the personnel side as well, and that helps me too because I have a good eye for the film stuff as well as far as seeing talent. And I coached at the high school level at the bottom. I was a coordinator with Rocco's team for a year. I helped them out the year before that. So I've been dealing with youth in my camps for 20 years. So 10-year-old kid all the way up to 34-year-old quarterback, AJ McCarron. I've just been there. It's a pretty good span of players.
I also cover the NFL, and obviously you played for the Jets, and so talked to them. Were you at all surprised by Robert Saleh being fired and that decision, and any thoughts on the future of that franchise and the situation this year?
Yeah, I'm never surprised of anything. Woody Johnson is the owner. He can do whatever the hell he wants, right? It's his team. I think at the end of the day, there's a high expectation level for that team. They expect to win, and they're not winning at the capacity they want. So a new voice, a new leader at the helm. I think Jeff Ulbrich does a great job. The only thing with Jeff Ulbrich now is a head coach. He can't be a full-time defensive coordinator. So it's just that transition of handling all the minutia throughout the day that happens to really. So for a guy that wants to focus on defense 100% of the time.